Rohan was a young man weighed down by the burdens of life. He had always been a seeker, but his journey had led him to a point of deep confusion and despair. It was during this tumultuous time that he stumbled upon a Buddhist monastery nestled in the serene hills. The monastery seemed like an oasis of peace amidst the chaos of his life. Rohan was welcomed by the gentle smiles of the resident monks, their eyes reflecting a profound inner calm. Intrigued, he decided to stay for a while, hoping to find solace. One evening, as he sat in the monastery's garden, a kind monk named Kavi approached him. They talked about Rohan's troubles, and Kavi introduced him to the concept of mental strength. He explained how the mind could be both a source of suffering and a wellspring of resilience, depending on how it was nurtured. Kavi then shared with Rohan the 7 factors that could weaken one's mind, as per Buddhist teachings. These factors were like shackles that bound the soul and hindered one's journey towards enlightenment. Intrigued by this ancient wisdom, Rohan decided to explore each factor in depth to free himself from their grip. Habit 1. Attachment. The first habit that Rohan encountered on his journey to mental strength was attachment. It was the stronghold of material possessions, relationships, and desires that often led to suffering. Rohan initially struggled to grasp this concept, as he had always believed that possessing more would bring happiness. But as he observed the monks' simple, contented lives, he began to question his own attachments. Kavi explained that attachment was like holding onto a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Rohan learned that by loosening his grip on external things, he could find an inner peace he had never known before. Habit 2. Anger. The second habit that Rohan confronted was anger. It had been a constant companion in his life, causing rifts in his relationships and clouding his judgment. Through mindfulness practices and meditation, the monks guided Rohan in understanding the roots of his anger and how to manage it. He realized that anger was like a burning ember, scorching not only those around him, but also his own soul. With time and effort, Rohan learned to cool the flames of anger and find a serene center within himself. Habit 3. Ignorance. Ignorance was the third habit that Rohan needed to confront. He had been living life in a haze, unaware of the impermanence of all things. Kavi and the other monks helped him see that ignorance was like a veil that shrouded the truth. Rohan embarked on a journey of self-discovery, seeking to peel away the layers of ignorance that had clouded his perception. As he delved deeper into his own consciousness, he began to uncover profound insights about the nature of existence and the interconnectedness of all beings. Habit 4. Fear. Fear, the fourth habit, had been a constant source of anxiety in Rohan's life. The monks taught him that fear often arose from the stories we tell ourselves about the future, stories that may never come to pass. It was like building castles in the sky, only to watch them crumble. With the guidance of the monks, Rohan confronted his fears head-on. He discovered that by grounding himself in the present moment and cultivating courage, he could diminish the power of fear in his life. Habit 5. Doubt. Doubt, the fifth habit, was a persistent shadow in Rohan's mind. It whispered words of insecurity and self-criticism, hindering his progress and dreams. The monks encouraged him to challenge his doubts and embrace self-confidence. Rohan embarked on a journey of self-affirmation and self-belief. He learned that doubt was like a fog that obscured the path ahead. But through clarity of purpose and unwavering faith in himself, he could navigate through life's challenges. Habit 6. Craving. Craving was the sixth habit that Rohan needed to address. He had always desired more, believing that fulfillment lay in the acquisition of external things. The monks introduced him to the idea that craving was like a bottomless pit. No matter how much you filled it, it was never enough. Rowan began to practice contentment and gratitude for what he had in the present moment. He realized that the pursuit of material wealth and possessions only left him feeling empty, whereas finding joy in the simplicity of life brought true fulfillment. Habit 7. Ego. Ego, the seventh and final habit, was the most subtle and challenging of all. It was the belief in a separate, self-centered identity that often led to arrogance and a false sense of self-importance. The monks showed Rowan that ego was like a shadow that obscured the light of one's true self. Through humility and self-inquiry, Rowan began to dismantle the ego's hold on his consciousness. He learned that in recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings, he could transcend the limitations of the ego and find a deeper sense of unity with the world. As Rowan delved deeper into the teachings and practices of the monastery, he faced a series of tests and challenges. These tests were designed to put his newfound wisdom and mental strength to the test. They ranged from physical trials to tests of patience, compassion, and resilience. Rowan encountered moments of doubt and frustration, but with each challenge, he found himself growing stronger and more resilient. The tests served as a crucible, forging his character and reinforcing the lessons he had learned from the monks. With time, Rowan began to experience a profound sense of inner peace. The shackles of attachment, anger, ignorance, fear, doubt, craving, and ego no longer held him captive. He felt a sense of freedom and clarity that he had never known before. His newfound inner peace radiated outwards, transforming his relationships with others. His family and friends noticed the positive changes in him, and some were inspired to seek their own path to mental strength. Rowan's desire to share what he had learned with others grew stronger with each passing day. He realized that there were many people like him, struggling with the same mental weaknesses that had once burdened him. Rowan became a beacon of hope and guidance for those in need. He offered a listening ear, a compassionate heart, and practical advice to friends, acquaintances, and even strangers. His mission became clear: to help others find their own path to mental strength and inner peace. As Rowan continued to walk the path of mental strength, he encountered a new set of challenges, temptations. The allure of material wealth, fame, and power beckoned to him. But Rowan remembered the lessons he had learned in the monastery and resisted these temptations. He understood that true wealth lay in the richness of the human spirit, and real power came from the ability to master one's own mind. Rowan remained steadfast in his commitment to living a life aligned with his newfound principles. One of the most profound lessons Rowan learned on his journey was the power of forgiveness. He had carried the weight of past grievances and resentment for years. The monks encouraged him to let go of these burdens and embrace forgiveness as a path to healing. Rowan realized that forgiveness was not condoning the actions of others, but freeing himself from the chains of anger and bitterness. As he forgave those who had wronged him, he experienced a profound sense of liberation and inner peace. Rowan's heart overflowed with gratitude for the wisdom he had gained and the people who had supported him on his journey. He began to see the world through new eyes, appreciating the beauty of everyday moments and the kindness of others. Gratitude became his guiding light, a reminder of the abundance that could be found in even the simplest of experiences. His sense of fulfillment grew, and he radiated positivity to all who crossed his path. Within the monastery, Rowan encountered a wise and experienced mentor named Master Sujan. Master Sujan had dedicated his life to the practice of Buddhism and possessed profound insights into its teachings. Under Master Sujan's guidance, Rowan delved even deeper into the principles of Buddhism. He explored advanced meditation techniques, studied ancient texts, and engaged in philosophical discussions that expanded his understanding of the mind and consciousness. One day, Master Sujin challenged Rohan to confront the concept of mortality and the impermanence of life. They visited a serene cemetery on a misty morning, where gravestones stood as silent reminders of life's fleeting nature. Rohan felt a deep sense of introspection as he contemplated the reality of death. He realized that in acknowledging the impermanence of life, one could truly appreciate the preciousness of each moment. This realization deepened his commitment to living a meaningful and purposeful life. As Rohan's journey neared its culmination, he faced a final and profound test. It was an ordeal that would draw upon all the lessons he had learned and all the mental strength he had cultivated. The test challenged his resilience, compassion, and wisdom. It tested his ability to remain centered in the face of adversity. Rohan faced this ultimate challenge with unwavering determination, determined to prove to himself that he had truly transformed. In the crucible of the final test, Rohan experienced a revelation that transcended words. It was a moment of profound enlightenment, a direct experience of the interconnectedness of all things. Rohan realized that the mental weaknesses that had once held him captive were illusions of the ego. In letting go of these illusions, he discovered a state of profound mental strength and peace that had always resided within him. He had become a true master of his mind. Having successfully completed the final test, Rohan returned to the world outside the monastery, forever transformed. He carried with him the wisdom of the monks, the teachings of Buddhism, and the profound mental strength he had cultivated. Rohan's mission was clear: to share this wisdom with as many people as possible. He traveled to villages, towns, and cities, offering workshops and lectures on mental strength and inner peace. His message resonated with countless individuals, and he became a source of inspiration for many seeking a path to a more fulfilling life. As the years passed, Rohan's impact on the world grew, leaving a lasting legacy. His story became a beacon of hope for those facing mental weaknesses and challenges in life. The ripple effect of his teachings spread far and wide, touching the lives of countless individuals. Rohan's legacy was not one of material wealth or fame, but of profound transformation and the enduring power of the human spirit. He had shown that by confronting and overcoming the 7 things that made one mentally weak, anyone could find inner peace, resilience, and fulfillment. Rohan's journey from a troubled young man to a beacon of mental strength and wisdom serves as a powerful example of the transformative potential that lies within each of us. His story reminds us that no matter how burdened we may feel by life's challenges, we have the capacity to cultivate mental strength and find inner peace. The teachings of Buddhism, as illustrated through Rohan's journey, offer timeless wisdom that can guide us on our own path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life.